Journal articles can be pretty overwhelming, even for those of us who read them on a regular basis. Empirical articles might be even more overwhelming because of the terminology in the methods section and the statistical information in the results. If we think about the purpose of our reading, though, we can use our knowledge of APA style to focus our attention and make it less overwhelming. That said, we need to start by thinking about our purpose. That's what helps us determine what's important. In the case of this class, we'll read articles with the purpose of understanding the relevant information in order to gain knowledge from the results of studies. In other cases, we might be trying to understand common theoretical perspectives or other more complex issues. What's important is the more complicated question, but the remainder of this unit will help you answer that question and apply your knowledge of APA style to locate that information given the purpose I mentioned in the last slide, gaining knowledge from the results of studies. Typically, the authors typically use one of four terms to signal their focus. In other words, to indicate what they think is important. The purpose or goal will likely be a more broad statement that could be rewritten as a question. When the focus is represented by a hypothesis, it will represent a prediction of a relationship between two or more variables. There may be more than one hypothesis, and the authors might use the term prediction instead of hypothesis. So take a moment to think about this question, pausing if you need to before you move on. And the answer. Although we can get a sense of the focus in the results section, and the opening paragraph of the discussion should provide a summary, the focus is typically presented for the first time in the last paragraph or section of the introduction. APA style typically structures the introduction in such a way that explains the underlying thinking leading to the goal, purpose, question, or hypothesis. So in some ways, they signal a summary of the focus. This also helps us identify the variables of interest, which are the topic we're more interested in knowing about. Variables are actually the whole point of research. They're the things that researchers think will vary in quantity or quality, and those variations are what we're describing, explaining, or predicting. It's helpful to know that when we talk about variables in two ways. Sometimes we're more abstract or vague, and sometimes we're more specific. We refer to the more abstract ideas as conceptual variables or conceptual definitions. Another way to think about conceptual variables is that they're the general topic we're interested in. It can be tricky to determine variations in general abstract topics, though. So operational variables or definitions are more specific. They're described in terms of how they will be measured or manipulated. For example, conceptually, we might say we're interested in differences in anxiety between heavy and non-heavy people. The operational variables might be scores on the Hamilton Anxiety Rating Scale for women who weigh 200 pounds or more compared to those who weigh less than 200 pounds, and for men who weigh more than 250 pounds compared to those who weigh less than 250 pounds. If we were manipulating anxiety, we could tell participants they were going to prepare and deliver a speech. So, do you have to read all of the introduction? Do you have to read all of the manuscript? In the introduction, we're interested in what the authors are interested in. Looking for the research goal, purpose, question, or hypothesis helps us identify the focus. You might choose to review the other parts of the introduction to understand how they formed the goal, the purpose, the question, or the hypothesis.